Hello everyone, you are welcome to my YouTube channel, Akeem Online Mathematics. Now, if you are just joining me for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Akeem Online Mathematics. You can also like and share my video. Now, let's go solving the question on the board. We are still on quadratic equation involving roots. And here we are given a very simple question. If alpha and beta are the roots of the equation, 2x squared minus 7x minus 3 is equal to 0. Find the value of alpha minus beta. Of course, to solve the question on the board, we are going to follow two steps. The first step is to consider the product of roots and the sum of roots. Get the value for the product of roots and the sum of roots. And the second step we are going to consider is to now simplify alpha minus beta. Now, let's go solve it. Any one of the two steps can come first. You can first simplify this, or you can as well get the sum of roots for get the value for the sum of roots and also the value for the product of roots. Now, the first thing we do, we are going to have a we are going to compare the given equation with the normal quadratic equation, which is ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Comparing these two together, we'll observe that our a will be 2, our b will be equal to minus 7, and our c will be equal to minus 3. So from the equation here now, we can now have our sum of roots, alpha plus beta, will now be equal to minus b all over a, which is now equal to minus 7 all over a, which is 2. And that will automatically give us 7 all over 2. Minus times minus is plus. So the next thing we consider is the product of root, alpha, beta. Alpha, beta is always c all over a. And that will give us minus 3 all over a, which is 2. Now, we have gotten the sum of root formula, the value for the sum of root, and we have also gotten the value of the product of roots. Then we can now consider alpha minus beta. Alpha minus beta. This is something we cannot get directly. The only way we can get alpha, the only way we can get alpha minus beta directly is by squaring, by finding the square root of alpha minus beta square. This is what I'm talking about. Alpha minus beta will always be the square root of alpha minus beta squared. So we need to have a value because from the question, they want us to find the value of alpha minus beta. If you look at this, there is no equation, there is no value for alpha minus beta. So we now need to simplify alpha minus beta in terms of products and sum of roots. That is the only way we can solve it. Now, from here, I already know that my alpha minus beta will always give the square root of alpha minus beta square. So what do I need to do? I need to simplify this. Alpha minus beta squared, what is it equal to? Of course, I know that alpha minus beta square will always be alpha minus beta into alpha minus beta, and that will surely give us alpha square. Simplifying it, you are going to have alpha square minus alpha beta plus beta square, and that will automatically give us alpha square plus beta square minus 2 alpha beta. You can now see we are now getting something that is close to product and sum of roots. So if I should substitute these into here, I am going to have alpha square plus beta square minus 2 alpha beta. But still, this thing is not complete, because if you look at this very well, you will notice that the only thing that is similar to the product and sum of roots is this minus 2 alpha beta. Alpha square and beta square, they are still something that I need to simplify further. So if I simplify it further, alpha square plus, if you look at this, if I simplify alpha plus beta square, this one here will give me alpha square plus 2 alpha beta plus beta square. That is what I'm going to have. If you now check very well, if I want this alpha square and beta square to be here, that means I'm going to move this one away from here. And if I should move it away from here, I will now have alpha plus beta square minus 2 alpha beta is now equal to alpha square plus beta square. That means the value for alpha square for beta square is this. So I can now go back to this place and represent, substitute for alpha square plus beta square. I will now have my alpha minus beta square will now be equal to alpha plus beta square minus 2 alpha beta minus 2 alpha beta. Simplifying further, I am going to have alpha plus beta square minus 4 alpha beta. So this equation now, alpha square plus beta square now, can now be equal to, I will now have these alpha plus beta square minus 2 alpha beta, and minus 2 alpha beta is already here, so that will now give us alpha plus beta square minus 4 alpha beta. So from there you will observe that what I have here is the value, is the equation for alpha minus beta square. So I can now have since I said alpha minus beta, so my alpha minus beta will now be the square root of alpha plus beta square minus 4 alpha beta. Then I can now substitute their value. What is the value of alpha plus beta? My alpha plus beta is 7 over 2. So I'm going to have 7 all over 2 square minus 4 into, what is the value of alpha beta? My alpha beta is minus 3 all over 2. Don't forget the square root sign. So that will now give us 49 all over 4 minus times minus is plus. So we have plus there. Then we have, don't let us reduce. Okay, can we reduce to the lowest term? Let's see if we can do that. Okay, let's reduce. 2 here is 1 and 2 here is 2. So we are going to have plus 6 all over 1. The square root sign will still be there. Of course, we can find the LCM. If you find the LCM is 4. 4 in 4 is 1, you have 49. Plus 1 in 4 is what? 4. 4 times 6 is 24. We have 24 here. So that will now give us the square root of, what is 49 plus 24? We have 3, 73. So we have 73 all over 4. Of course, when you have something like this, it will now be equal to root 73 all over root 4. So my alpha minus beta now will now be root 73 all over 2. This is mathematics made simple by Hakeem Ola. God bless you. God bless me. Take care.